Hello and a very good morning. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. This is the breakfast news with me, Frank Pereira. Here are the headlines. Prime Minister attacks Pakistan on terror, says need for global response to uproot those who harbour and finance terrorists. Operation to flush out militants from government building in Pampore in Jammu and Kashmir still on. It has been more than 48 hours since terrorists stormed the building. Tamil Nadu governor allocates portfolios held by Chief Minister Jayalalitha to Finance Minister O. Pannirselvam, says move in interest of state administration. "14 killed as gunman opens fire in Shiite mosque in Kabul. Attack as pilgrims gather to celebrate Ashura. Gunmen killed by security forces." India bagged the test series against New Zealand's 3-0 win indoor test by 321 runs. R. Ashwin is man of the match and series. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has launched a blistering attack on nations that harbour and finance terrorists. Addressing the Dussehra rally in Lucknow on Tuesday, the Prime Minister said that the need of the hour is a global fight against nations that export terror. The Prime Minister also pitched for equal rights for women during his address.
आतंकवाद ये मानवता का दुश्मन है.
The thrust of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Dussehra message. He called upon the world to unite against terrorism. In a veiled attack on Pakistan, he asked for zero tolerance towards those who support and harbour terrorists.
विश्व की मानवतावादी शक्तियों का आतंकवाद के खिलाफ एकजुट होना अनिवार्य हो गया है. जो आतंकवाद करते हैं उनको जड़ से खत्म करने की जरूरत पैदा हुई. जो आतंकवाद को पनाह देते हैं, जो आतंकवाद को मदद करते हैं, अब तो उनको भी बख्शा नहीं जा सकता.
In his 20-minute speech during Ram Leela celebrations in Lucknow on Tuesday, the Prime Minister said that a vigilant population can thwart any attempt by terrorists to carry out any terror attack.
125 करोड़ देशवासी हम राम तो नहीं बन पाते हैं, लेकिन अनाचार, दुराचार, अत्याचार के सामने हम जटायु के रूप में तो कोई भूमिका अदा कर सकते हैं. अगर 125 करोड़ देशवासी एक बन करके आतंकवादियों की हर हरकत पे अगर ध्यान रखें, चौकन्ने रहे, तो आतंकवादियों का सफल होना बहुत मुश्किल होता है.
He also used the opportunity to advocate equal rights to women from all faiths and appeal to people to stop discriminating between a girl and a boy and protect the सीताs of our homes.
महिलाओं के अधिकार समान होने चाहिए. महिलाओं को 21वीं सदी में न्याय मिलना चाहिए. किसी भी परंपरा से जुड़े क्यों न हो, किसी भी समाज से जुड़े क्यों न हो, महिलाओं का गौरव करने का ये युग हमें स्वीकारना होगा.
Modi became the first Prime Minister to attend a Ram Leela event outside Delhi, and his participation at the Ashbagh celebrations assumes significance in the context of assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh early next year. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, opposition parties, however, saw the Prime Minister's visit to Lucknow for Dussehra as politically motivated. Taking a dig at the Prime Minister, UP Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav said on Monday that Modi would have visited Bihar had the state been facing elections like Uttar Pradesh. BSP Supremo Mayawati and the Congress have also accused the Prime Minister of politicizing the surgical strikes for political gains.
किस रूपक में अपने आप को ढाल कर जा रहे हैं, मैं इसके बारे में तो नहीं जानता, लेकिन अभी तक यही रहा है कि प्रधानमंत्री जो हैं जब भी रहे, जब से हमने होश संभाला है, हमने दिल्ली की रामलीला में उनको देखा है। हमें अच्छा लगता इस तरह से वो कहते हैं कि हर त्योहार वो जो है वो ऐसी जगहों पे मनाते हैं। आज कश्मीर जल रहा है और जिस वक्त वो दिवाली मनाने कश्मीर में गए थे, तो अगर आज वो दशहरा मनाने कश्मीर में जाते तो सही माने में आज हमारे सैनिकों का सम्मान होता।
When the Prime Minister went to Jammu and Kashmir to celebrate his first Diwali after assuming office, the opposition did not ask then as to why you went to Jammu and Kashmir to apply balm to the people there. When the Prime Minister went to Siachen to in fact be with the Jawans of Siachen, the opposition did not ask then as to why the Prime Minister was in Siachen, whether there was an election in Siachen or not. So today when Prime Minister is going to Uttar Pradesh in a historic move, why is the opposition questioning? This only shows the sense of insecurity dwelling within the hearts of opposition parties.
Well, the encounter in Jammu and Kashmir's Pampore district is still underway. Security forces launched a fresh offensive to flush out the terrorists holed up inside a government building. The terrorists, believed to be 2 or 3 in number, had taken control of the 7-storied building on Monday. Meanwhile, 9 people were injured in a grenade attack on a parliamentary patrol party in South Kashmir's Shopian district.
48 hours after it started, security personnel were engaged in a joint operation to flush out terrorists holed up inside a government building in Kashmir's Pampore district. All through the night, loud explosions, gunfire and smoke were reported from the Entrepreneurship Development Institute building. 2 to 3 terrorists reportedly sneaked inside the 7-storied structure on Monday. The army cordoned off areas around the building. An army soldier was injured in the encounter. According to reports, the terrorists could have entered the complex after arriving on boats on the Jhelum River that flows into Pakistan.
So this is a part of series of the actions being undertaken by the terrorists who had crossed over earlier, who had been pushed across earlier by the Pakistanis. And these terrorists had taken shelter in different parts of the valley. And after our cross-border surgical strike, they were given instructions to carry out different operations. So, they want to hit us back. So, Pampore is a part of that, and all these series of attacks, Handwara, etc., were a part of that.
In another incident, at least 9 people were injured in a grenade attack on a CRPF patrol party in Shopian district of South Kashmir. The injured included 2 security personnel and 7 civilians. The militants behind the attack escaped while a search operation is on to capture them. Curfew was enforced in the interior areas of Srinagar as a precautionary measure to maintain law and order. Normal life was affected for the 95th day in a row on Tuesday as businesses remained closed and people stayed indoors in response to a shutdown call by separatists. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, a prominent Pakistani journalist has been barred from leaving the country after he reported about a suspected rift between the civilian and military leaderships. Cyril Almeida, a reporter for the Dawn newspaper, had reported that during a crucial meeting, the Nawaz Sharif government had told the ISI that its support for terrorist groups was leaving the country globally isolated. Following the report, Cyril Almeida has been put on the exit control list, a system of border control maintained by the Pakistan government, which allows it to bar people from leaving the country. Almeida told the world about the control measure in a tweet where he said that he was puzzled and saddened, but he had no intention of going anywhere as Pakistan was his home. On October 6th, Almeida had reported that the civilian government has told the military leadership of a growing international isolation of Pakistan due to alleged support for militancy. The Pakistan government has thrice denied the story since, with the Foreign Office terming it speculative. On Monday, Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif had ordered authorities to take stern action against those responsible for publishing the fabricated story. Almeida being put on the list is being viewed as an attack on the freedom of the press.
It's a serious thing because, after all, it's a direct attack from the Prime Minister of Pakistan on freedom of press. And this needs to be taken seriously by journalists worldwide and fought back, because the kind of stories we'd heard about press being given freedom in Pakistan, they were given relative freedom. But I think it's back to usual, back to the normal practice of which happens in Pakistan. where that any sort of dissent, especially in the media, is going to be muzzled.
This is not for the first time in Pakistan that some journalists have been detained in Pakistan or is forced to write what they want to write, because you see, in Pakistan since 70 years the democratical setup has not flourished due to all these things, because you have not given freedom of press to the print and electronic media.
The action against the journalist establishes two things. The first thing which it establishes is the veracity of the report itself. This shows that what was reported in Dawn was correct. And in fact, the background also makes it clear that this Dawn report was correct. The civilian government has been uncomfortable for a long time with the actions of the army and the ISI in supporting, giving shelter to and supporting terrorists.
Well, ahead of Chinese President Xi Jinping's visit to India to take part in the BRICS summit in Goa, Chinese experts are calling India's move to completely seal its border with Pakistan an irrational decision. The Chinese daily Global Times quoted members of leading think tanks stating that the move will further complicate India-China relations. Hu Ziyong, a research fellow of the Shanghai Academy, said that a completely sealed border will affect the already scarce border trade between the two countries. Wang Duhuo, another expert, said a sealed border will further disrupt peace efforts made by the two sides. Chinese experts, however, agree that the resolution of the Kashmir dispute is in the interest of China's internal security, especially in the western regions. During his visit later this week, the Chinese president is expected to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Meanwhile, India has conveyed to Moscow its opposition to Russia-Pakistan military exercises. India has objected to Moscow's military exercise with the nation that sponsors and practices terrorism as a matter of state policy. India has said that it will further create problems. New Delhi's position was conveyed by the Indian ambassador to Moscow, Pankaj Saran. This also comes ahead of bilateral meeting between Prime Minister Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin to be held in Goa. Moscow has, however, played down the concern, saying that they hold similar military drills with other countries of the region as well. Meanwhile, cooperation in key areas of security, defense and trade will be discussed when Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin hold talks on Saturday. The two sides are expected to conclude important bilateral agreements. Vladimir Putin will be in India for 4 days from October 14th to 17th for the BRICS summit. Besides attending BRICS summit on Sunday, Putin would also hold the 17th Indo-Russian annual summit, where the leaders will review the entire gamut of bilateral ties, including the progress made since their last summit meeting in Moscow in December 2015. Let's now get you a roundup of the other national news in nationwide. The centre will soon make payments under the Manrega and Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana through post offices to ensure that welfare funds reach beneficiaries directly without any pilferage. Union Information and Broadcasting Minister M. Venkaiah Naidu said post offices would soon assume multifarious roles. In the near future, post offices are expected to be in greater demand as many new financial products like credit, savings and current accounts, mutual funds, insurance and pensions will be operated through them. Shiv Sena Chief Uddhav Thackeray challenged the BJP to snap ties with his party. Asking his party members to be prepared for all possibilities, Uddhav Thackeray asked to leave the decision on the alliance entirely on him. His challenge to the BJP comes days after BJP's Mumbai MP Kirit Somaiya said that his party would go solo and topple the Sena in Mumbai. The Mumbai civic polls are due in 2017. Nearly 2.5 years after it came into being, Telangana's map was redrawn on Tuesday with the creation of 21 new districts. Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao formally inaugurated Siddipet district, which is his home district. The TRS government unveiled the new districts with an aim to improve administration at the grassroots level. This has taken the total number of districts in Telangana to 31. Well, as Tamil Nadu Chief Minister J. Jayalalitha continues to be in hospital since September 22nd, Tamil Nadu Governor C. Vidyasagar Rao allocated the portfolios held by her to Finance Minister O. Selvam. But he added that the AIADMK Supremo will continue to be the Chief Minister of the state. A press release said that the arrangement has been made as per the advice of the Chief Minister and will continue until the Chief Minister J. Jayalalitha resumes her duties. Among others, Jayalalitha also holds the police and home and general administration portfolios. The opposition DMK has welcomed the governor's decision of allocating portfolios to Finance Minister O. Selvam, stating that the move is in the interest of the state's administration. Meanwhile, Tamil Nadu police have arrested 2 people and registered 43 cases in connection with posting of malicious and false content on social media about Jayalalitha's health. The police have also warned of stern action against those spreading rumours about the Chief Minister's health. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley and BJP National President Amit Shah are expected to visit Jayalalitha in the hospital later today. Well, on Tuesday, the high-level technical team constituted by the Supreme Court wrapped up its 2-day assessment of the Kaveri River Basin. Now, the team held discussions with Tamil Nadu Chief Secretary and Public Works Department Principal Secretary to assess the situation. The team is expected to submit its report in the Apex Court by October 17th after it completes the processing of the data collected from Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Farmers of the Kaveri Delta region had told the team that they were incurring a loss of around 1,000 crore rupees to 2,500 crore rupees each year due to the Kaveri dispute between the two states. The expert committee is expected to outline water conservation methods, better use of water and changes in the cropping pattern along with the ground report on the situation in both sides. While calling GST as the most important structural reform till date by the Modi government, S&P Global Ratings on Tuesday said that the passage of the indirect tax law gives it additional conviction of India clocking 8% growth in the next few years. In its report titled Asia Pacific Studies While China Goes Silent, the rating agency said India's GST passage gives us additional conviction around our 8% GDP growth forecast over the next few years. It had last month projected India to clock a steroid-free growth of 8% in the coming years. In its APAC Economic Snapshot September 2016 report, it stated that India's structural reforms agenda had maintained a strong momentum and most recently with the GST's passage should propel growth higher. The latest GDP figures showed that India's growth slowed to 7.1% in the April-June quarter from 7.9% in January and March. RBI has also said that the near-term growth outlook for India seems brighter than last fiscals and the economy is likely to expand at 7.6% in 2016-17. Well, it's time for a short break now, but news and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The splendid, grand and massive neo-Buddhist copper dome of the Rashtrapati Bhavan. It gets its influence from stupa at Sanchi. The dome is more than twice the height of the rest of the building. The reinforced concrete shell of the outer dome began to be formed during the beginning of 1929. The last stone of the dome was laid on April 6, 1929.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. Well, Shia pilgrims were targeted in the Afghan capital of Kabul on Tuesday with a lone gunman killing at least 14 people in a shrine. The pilgrims had gathered to celebrate Ashura, one of the most important festivals of the Shia Muslim calendar. The gunman was later killed by security forces. Here's more.
Shia pilgrims targeted in Afghanistan capital Kabul on Tuesday. Lone gunman opened fire in a Shiite shrine, killing 14 people before Afghan security forces killed him. The attack took place at about 8 p.m. at the Karte Sakhi shrine as the Shia Muslims prepared for Ashura, a religious day of mourning. Eyewitnesses say the man dressed in police uniform shot at police with a pistol before taking one of their AK-47 assault rifles and firing randomly at worshippers. A police officer and a child were among those killed and 36 people were wounded. After a 2-hour-long battle, security forces killed the gunman. No group has claimed responsibility yet.
10 نفر زخمی را کشید، 4 نفر شهید شد، 6 نفر زخمی بود. برد شد شفاخانه همین علی آباد برد شد و خود نفرم که انتحاری آمده بود که کالای عسکری آمده بود.
Shiite minority have been repeatedly targeted in Afghanistan. In July, 84 people were killed in an attack on Shia Muslims in Kabul. It was claimed by the Islamic State. Another mass killing occurred in August when attackers killed 13 at Kabul University. Tuesday's attack came as Afghanistan deployed hundreds of commandos to drive Taliban militants from the capital of Helmand province, Lashkar Gah, in the south. Lashkar Gah is in lockdown, with many families trying to flee the fighting. Schools and universities have been closed indefinitely.
کشتی استقامت چې ډیره وترو د کشتی استقامت د کشتی منځ کومه دغه ساحه ټول د مختار ساحه د ماجرین ساحه د دشمن په لاس کې او هغه بیرته د افغان ملي امنیتي ځواکو ولاسته بیرته رااله.
The wave of violence underscored unraveling security in Afghanistan as the resurgent Taliban continue a push into urban centers 15 years after they were toppled from power by the US invasion. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, Russia carried out its heaviest strike so far on Syria's Aleppo on Tuesday as rebel fire killed at least 20, in which 5 were school children. The raids in Aleppo killed at least 20 civilians and caused massive damage in several residential areas of the city. The army has said that last week it would reduce its bombardment that after days of attacks that killed hundreds and destroyed the largest remaining hospital in the east. But the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights reported renewed heavy bombing on Tuesday. Russian President Vladimir Putin, meanwhile, has cancelled a trip to Paris in a row over the violence in Syria, where Moscow is helping President Bashar al-Assad's forces in an operation to recapture all of Aleppo. However, French President François Hollande said that talks with Russia on Syria are vital, but they must be frank and firm. Hollande clarified that he had not planned to accompany Putin, but had only offered talks on Syria.
Le dialogue est nécessaire avec la Turquie, avec la Russie. Mais il doit être ferme et franc. Sinon, il n'a pas sa place. Sinon, c'est un simulacre. Je suis donc prêt à tout moment à rencontrer le président Poutine. Mais si nous avons la possibilité de faire avancer la cause de la paix, de faire cesser.
Well, here's a roundup of the other international news in World Wrap. US Republican nominee Donald Trump has lashed out at Speaker Paul D. Ryan and other critics within his party. In a barrage of Twitter posts, Trump deriding the highest-ranking Republican as a weak and ineffective leader. He also warned that those who have been disloyal risk handling the election to Hillary Clinton. Ryan is the latest Republican not to back Trump after a 2005 video emerged showing him making obscene comments about women. Tens of thousands more people were ordered to evacuate as high water from Hurricane Matthew pushed downstream in North Carolina on Tuesday. Matthew's death toll in the US climbed to 34, more than half of them in North Carolina, in addition to the 900 feared dead in Haiti. North Carolina governor warned of extremely dangerous conditions in the coming days in central and eastern North Carolina, where several rivers were at record or near record levels. Well, the White House has said that President Barack Obama will consider a variety of responses to Russia's hacking of political party organizations. It added that it was possible that any action may not be announced publicly. Last Friday, US had publicly pointed the finger at Moscow for the cyber attacks, this being the first time the US publicly blamed another country for hacking with the goal of influencing a US election. While Beijing rapped Washington on Tuesday for its interventions in Asia. Speaking at the 7th annual Xiangshan Regional Defense Forum in Beijing, China's defense minister levied veiled criticism at recent US involvement in Asia's trouble spots. Washington has conducted freedom of navigation operations close to artificial islands Beijing has built in the South China Sea and has agreed to deploy a missile defense system in South Korea following repeated nuclear and missile tests by Beijing's ally, Pyongyang. Some sports news now. India completed a 3-0 whitewash against New Zealand on Tuesday, winning the indoor test by 321 runs. It was a massive victory for the hosts as they bundled out New Zealand for 153 in their second innings on day 4 of the third and final test of the series. Here's a match report.
India on Tuesday won the indoor cricket test against New Zealand and clean swept the 3-match series 3-0. In the third and final test, India wrapped up the New Zealand innings at 153 in 44.5 overs, claiming a huge victory by 321 runs.
This was a situation where we firstly batted them out of the game in the first innings, and then we could express ourselves because we had gotten such a big lead. We could express ourselves properly and then give our bowlers rest and then time again to bowl at the opposition. So I think these last two tests, the way we played it, played out really nicely for us in a good balance, and that's why we were able to have both games finish in within 4 days, and quite clinical performances.
The New Zealand's second innings folded in just 1.5 sessions on day 4 with an entire day remaining.
चलिए खाता खुला और खुला बड़े ही स्टाइल के साथ.
The chief wicket taker for India was R. Ashwin, who claimed 13 wickets. It was also his 6th 10-wicket haul in 39 tests and 21st 5-wicket haul.
बहुत ऊपर की गेंद थी ये, पीछे घुसे, जब तक बल्ला नीचे आता गेंद तो जा चुकी थी. Luke Ronchi.
Ashwin also took his series tally to 27 wickets and was chosen the man of the match and the man of the series. Earlier, the hosts resumed their overnight score of 18 for no loss and were 127 for 2 at lunch.
Cover drive सीधा गप्टिल जो कि कवर पे खड़े थे उनके हाथ आउट हुए गौतम गंभीर.
In the post-lunch session, Cheteshwar Pujara scored his 8th test ton as India declared their second innings at 216 for 3, setting a mammoth 475-run target. Pujara remained unbeaten at 101, with Ajinkya Rahane making 23 not out. New Zealand skipper Kane Williamson admitted that Kohli and Rahane's centuries contributed to India's victory.
There were some good signs with the bat at times, but certainly the way Virat and Ajinkya showed in this game, to get to 500 with two guys Virat getting a double 100 and Ajinkya a big 100, those are contributions that go a long way to winning cricket games. And
skipper Virat Kohli was presented with ICC Test Championship mace for leading his team to the top of the Test team rankings. Kohli became the only second India captain after Mahendra Singh Dhoni and 10th overall to receive the mace, even though it is for the third time since Kohli took over as captain that India have led the rankings table. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And finally, the festival of Dashara or Vijayadashmi was celebrated across India yesterday, signifying the victory of good over evil. We leave you with visuals of celebrations as effigies of the kings Ravana, Meghnath and Kumbhakarna were set on fire. See you again next time.